Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Epoch Times written by Zachary Stieber. It was published on February 19th. And the title speaks volumes to how the rhino neocon shitbag wastes of space feel about the, average person, the masses, the unwashed, peons, demanding that they represent them in Congress. Because, when it comes to the House and the Senate, when you elect someone, they're supposed to supposedly represent your interests. But look at the title here. Top McConnell deputy calls backlash against GOP senators who voted against Trump cancel culture. It's not cancel culture. But that's what he wants to portray it as. All right? I mean, John Thune here, he's the Senate Minority Whip, or Thune, or however you want to say his name, all right, is actually trying to say that them being held accountable by their constituencies is cancel culture. They're not being canceled, all right? You're having them being censored, and things like that. And that's supposedly cancel culture. Let's get into the article here. Republican senators are being censured or otherwise criticized for voting to convict former President Donald Trump are an example of cancel culture, a member of the GOP Senate leadership is alleging. Yes, because heaven forbid the people hold you accountable, for you being a shitbag that doesn't represent their interests. Heaven forbid, Thune. See, because they expect to be able to go to Washington and do whatever the hell they want, showing that he's not a representative of the people. He's a representative of his own interests and the interests of those who line his fucking pockets. That's what this comes down to. The 7 Republicans who sided with Democrats were voting their conscience. Bullshit. Senator John Thune, Republicans, South Dakota, told the Associated Press in his first interview since the February 13th vote that saw Trump acquitted of a charge of inciting insurrection. Bullshit. They weren't voting their conscience. You're going to tell me Mittens freaking Romney, Mr. Rhino neocon globalist scum-sucking shit pig of the Republican Party, okay, who supersedes McCain on that note because he's dead and buried and rotten in hell, burning in hell, okay? You're trying to tell me he voted his conscience. Bullshit. And they're not supposed to vote their conscience, okay, in the end. They're supposed to vote what their constituents want. Fuck their conscience. They are there to represent the people. All right? The people did not want this. So they went against what their constituents wanted, and now it's time to pay the piper. That's what this comes down to. I don't care about their conscience. I care about the fact that they're there to represent the people of their, of their states, their constituency. That's what I care about. Because none of them have a conscience. Trump gets acquitted and they were voting their conscience. Bullshit. There was a strong case made, Thune said. Bullshit, there was a strong case made. It was a joke. A strong case made with forged evidence, with fraudulently presented and created evidence with blue check marks where there were no blue check marks on tweets and other shady shit. You've got claims of calls being made, all right? And then literally when you have Rassenberger pulling his supposed evidence, you've actually got members on the floor going, because it was a lie or because it was false or because it was fake. Actually, I think it was because it was fake. And it was about a claim they made about someone overheard this from someone else who informed them that overheard this. It was literally like third tier freaking hearsay. And it was a lie. I mean, a case was made. None of this would have actually flown, okay, in a legitimate court. So don't tell me a case was made. I'm not stupid. But see, Thune thinks the people are stupid. And how dare the stupid, unwashed masses, okay, question us, the political elite. It's cancel culture if you actually expect us to be held accountable. That's what he's saying. All right. People could come to different conclusions if we're going to criticize the media and the left for cancel culture, we can't be doing that ourselves. It's not cancel culture. See, he thinks that the people should just shut the fuck up, okay, and let these shit pigs that are supposed to represent them not represent them and get away with it. This is how the political elites think. They think they're better than us. And how dare we question them? I mean, this guy, when he's making interviews like this, he should maybe be censured. Just saying, just a thought. When he is defending the sleaziness of like rhino wastes of space, like Romney, maybe the states should censure them. Just a thought. You know, people like him are doing this, they should be censured. It's not cancel culture. It's the people saying, you don't represent me, asshole. Thune, the Senate Republican whip, voted to acquit Trump. He was joined by Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell and every other member of the body's GOP leadership. Yeah, so why is he carrying water for the rhino wastes of space? Oh, because he actually thinks the rhinos are going to be are still the future, you know, the current and future part of, you know, leadership of the party. Sorry, not going to happen. And the thing is, you know, you have Newsweek anointing, okay, oh God, Haley, shit, what the hell's her name? The former UN ambassador, Nikki Haley. Okay, saying that she's the GOP frontrunner when it's a fact that the de facto GOP frontrunner is the former presidential candidate. Well, the former president, okay, like when he's running a second term, or if, say, he goes 4 years and then loses, they are the de facto leader. They're trying to anoint rhinos like Nikki Haley. There is a push right now to get Trump out and get the business back to usual, and you have the legacy media, the lefties at Politico. You have them trying to help feed this narrative. It's so sad. These people don't even know that the death of their establishment bullshit is happening. And they think that things are going to go back to normal. They're not. Excuse me, or at least what they think is, you know, consider normal. These people are ridiculous. These political elites, they're so high on their own farts, they do not have a grasp of reality. The Republicans who voted to convict said Trump was guilty of incitement and stood by their votes, even as most were censured by county or state Republican bodies. They stood by their votes because they're establishment scumbags. Okay, and they're going to lose. See, this is the thing. You're trying to act like this is cancel culture. Next, they'll be saying it's cancel culture when they get voted out of office, because you've got Sarah Palin going up against the one in Alaska, you know, Trump country, okay? And Sarah Palin's probably going to smack that bitch so friggin' hard, okay, with the win that she's going to have. It's not even going to be funny. Okay, it's going to be sad and pathetic. It's going to be like the Simpsons meme where Wiggum's kid is going, no, make it stop, or something like that. I think it's Wiggum's kid in the meme. It's been so long since I've watched The Simpsons. But it's going to be like that. Okay? Seriously. And they honestly think they're the ones controlling the show right now. They think they're the ones that are on the right side of history because they're thinking they're writing history. The North Carolina Republican Party, for instance, voted Monday to censure Senator Richard Burr, Republican North Carolina, which, you know, we're talking about an old-timer here, saying it agrees with the strong majority of Republicans in both the U.S. House of Representatives and Senate that the Democrat-led attempt to impeach a former president lies outside the United States Constitution, and they don't like that. See, because they feel that the state Republicans should just bend the knee to the you know, Republican National Committee and the party and all that, and just allow them to do whatever the fuck they want in Washington. Heaven forbid, you know, the political class on a state level who's actually accountable, okay, more so than they are on a federal level to the people that live in the state, you know, actually represent those people and say, hey, wait a minute, yeah, we got to get elected here, people pay attention to us, and we're going to actually do what they want. You know, heaven forbid they do that. They want them to just follow the party line and cover for these shit bricks instead of censuring them and stuff like that. It's disgusting. Burr responded, calling it a sad day for North Carolina Republicans. Why? Because a rhino piece of shit like you was actually forced to be called out, you know, was actually forced into being labeled, you know, a rhino neocon shitbag by extension. Because you're a never Trump waste of space. You were called out for being a never Trump waste of space. You don't like that. How's that a sad day for North Carolina Republicans? Because they didn't suck your dick? Oh my God. These people are so high on their own farts, it's not even funny. My party's leadership has chosen loyalty to one man over the core principles of the Republican Party and the founders of our great nation. The senator, who is retiring when his term ends in early 2023, added. Oh, bullshit. No, they chose what was right. This isn't about the fact of choosing one man over the principles of the Republican Party, because you people have no principles. If you had principles, okay, you would have looked at the trumped up charges and the bullshit and not been a never Trump fucking spurg. It really is that simple, because you would have looked at the legitimate, you would have looked at the situation legitimately, I'll say. Okay, we'll rephrase this. And said, okay, the evidence is complete bullshit. And you would have voted on the fact of the evidence being complete bullshit instead of voting along the fact of, he's Trump, big, bad, evil orange man. He ruined it for us neocon rhinos. But you didn't do that. But let's just ignore that. You know, let's just rewrite history and change everything to fit your bullshit narrative, because you're the elite political class and what you say is reality, right? Fucking idiots. Even some of the Republicans who voted to acquit have had harsh words for Trump, including Thune and McConnell. Oh, yeah, McConnell was saying, well, you know, that doesn't preclude him from getting, you know, charged by state and federal, you know, having state and federal charges brought against him, like hint, hint. Because that way he can wipe his hands clean of the situation and go, well, I supported Trump when he said that. This is the retarded, logic of these people. And they're supposed to be the political elites, the supposedly, you know, smartest of the smart, the most intelligent of the most intelligent, and they're the dumbest of the dumb. Protesters stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th because they'd been fed wild falsehoods by the most powerful man on earth because he was angry, McConnell said on the Senate floor, which is a complete bullshit and lie. That's never what happened. But McConnell's going to push this friggin' lie. You know, they don't understand. This is what's going to kill the party. This is what's going to kill the Republicans. Okay, Trump could start the Patriot Party tomorrow, and they'd wipe out over 70%, or he would wipe out, I should say, over 70% of the Republican Party's people. They'd be a dead party at that point. He doesn't understand that. And the 30%, they would follow suit. They don't get this, though. Instead of putting their tail between their legs and being the beta cucks that they normally are, they think they're going to get all tough with Trump, an alpha male. These people are idiots. He lost an election. Former President Trump's actions preceded the riot. Former President Trump's actions preceded the riot the riot are a disgraceful dereliction of duty, it should say. Not or a disgraceful. What is it? This is the third article in a row I've had where there's been typos. Proofread your shit, people. But he lost an election. Yeah. I think that's up for debate with all the questionable stuff that's happened, all the things the Democrats did that they now have as part of H.R. 1 that they're trying, that they rolled out in key states that undermined the integrity of the election in the name of election integrity. The Time magazine said that they were trying to secure the integrity election and make sure the right presidential candidate won. Not install him, of course not. But, you try to play it like it was legit. When you've got Time magazine admitting that, all right, they're trying to play it like this was legit. He just lost. Okay, sure. And trying to blame him for something that other people did. This is what's completely messed up. The Republican Party, the supposed party of, taking personal responsibility, the leadership of it, on the note of, say, the Senate, is actually trying to claim that those people don't have their own agency, that they're not responsible for themselves. This is the retarded world we live in now, where the party of personal agency is saying that these people didn't have personal agency. And it's all big bad orange man's fault. We live in a twisted freaking world now. It's a joke. Trump responded shortly after the vote, saying the GOP will not win in the future with McConnell at the helm because they won't. He will never do what needs to be done or what is right for our country. Where necessary and appropriate, I will back primary rivals who espouse making America great again and our policy of America first. We want brilliant, strong, thoughtful, and compassionate leadership, Trump said. Thune, McConnell's right-hand man, praised Rep. Liz Cheney, who's facing a primary challenger after voting to impeach Trump. And she's barely in the double digits for approval. It's like 12%. She has an absolutely abysmal approval rating. The bitch ain't gonna win. Okay? Dick Cheney's sick, twisted progeny, okay, is not gonna win. The days of her daddy's name meaning shit and putting the fear in people is over. All right? Just because she's a Cheney don't mean shit. That woman gonna be out of office unless they completely rig the fucking election. Rig the primary, I should say. Only way it's going to happen. But anyway, he also said he's prepared to side with candidates he prefers in contentious primaries. Well, of course. Well, he's done. All right. He tried to fucking play within the rules, and he actually gave like shitbags jobs. All right. Well, the people who should have got jobs didn't. Trump learned his lesson. He's done playing their fucking games. He's done listening to people like McConnell. Okay. Because a lot of the shit that he did was at the urging of McConnell and other rhino fucking scumbags. Those days are over. Trump saw what happened. All right. He doesn't care. Either way, the Republicans, the political establishment, the Democrats, they're all fucked. He's a man on a mission now. And they don't realize how fucked they are. They honestly think that they can bring things back to normal. It's so sad. At the grassroots level, there are a lot of people who want to see Trump-like candidates, he said. But I think we're going to be looking for candidates that are electable. Well, I think they're going to want the candidates that are going to be electable are the ones that are going to be on Trump, like Trump-like, that are going to be, you know, ideologically and politically aligned with Trump, because that's what's going to happen. And we're talking about populism here. This has nothing to do with party lines. Okay, we are at the point where party lines don't mean shit. I mean, Brexit was an example of this. All right. You know, you had Farage with his Brexit party and all that, okay? Literally, people crossed lines and went and voted that way, all right? That's what happened with Trump. This is a trend that's going to continue. The party affiliation bullshit, those days are over. People voting along party lines, unless you're a dumbed-down, retarded lefty, okay, are over, which they're going to vote Democrat anyways. Those days are over. Populism is here to stay. Populism is going to grow. And that's why you see the scramble that you do with the censorship, with big tech and everything else, because they're losing control, all right? They're watching people have power and influence that is actually starting to get to a level where it's going to rival theirs, okay? And when that happens, those people are going to be able to flip the script. And there's nothing the establishment's going to be able to do. Because once the script is flipped, their days are over. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.